Hello everybody, this is Coach Razo here. So in this video we're going to go over solving for missing sides with trigonometry. So all that's going on is that we label the triangle based on HOA. So don't forget about HOA, that's what it's talking about. And then we want to be able to identify the trig ratio that we're using. So are we using sine, are we using cos, are we using tan? So that's going to be the main key for these couple of problems we got. Okay. So let's look at a couple examples and then I'll turn you loose. Okay, so first things first is identify which angle you're working with. So the angle we're working with in this one is going to be the 50. So we have to look at it from 50's perspective. So if we happen to go ahead and see what's opposite of that is going to be this one. And then the hypotenuse is going to be the line that's going to be always... it will always be not across or opposite the box, and it won't touch the 90 degrees. So that's your hypotenuse, and then whatever's left over is going to be your adjacent. Okay, so just make sure that you know how to label H, O, and then A. Okay, now if we look at the next example, example 2, if we look at the 27, what is considered opposite of that? Opposite of that is going to be the 36. This is opposite. Okay, and then this is still your hypotenuse because that's the line that never touches the box. And then you have adjacent that's left over because now we're trying to label H, O, and then A. So these two are a little bit similar, except one's going all the way the opposite side, and then the other one is going the opposite direction from there. Okay, so just be very careful when you're trying to solve these. But ideally, it's the same idea for step 1, and then so for step 2, we just want to be able to identify which ones are the ones we need. So in this case, we're solving for x. Okay, so you have to solve for x, and so we have to be able to identify that one. And then we have the hypotenuse, which is 36. So in this case, we're going to be using OH. So sohcahtoa, just to remind y'all what we're working with. So there's a O, and then there's an H, so that means it's going to be sine. So how do you write this? So you have sine of 50 is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. I'm just showing you the steps, okay? And then replace whatever those opposite and hypotenuse represent, which is going to be your x as your opposite, and this will be 36. And then you have sine of 50. Now from there, all we need to do is just do. From here, we're just gonna make it put a 1 underneath or sine, and then we're just gonna cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, we have 1 times x, which is 1x, and then we have sine times 36, which will be 36 sine of 50 degrees. And then next thing is just type it into the calculator, type it into Desmos, whatever you got. Okay, so I'm gonna type into my calculator that I got. So I'm gonna type in 36 times sine of 50, and then I get 27.57. But you kind of notice down here it says round to the nearest tenth. So just make sure to go ahead and check out look at the 10th spot. Look right behind it. Is that value above 5, which is the 100 spot? And so it's yes, so that means this will become 27.6 in this case. And then that's your final value, okay? Now, I will give you a heads up. So just make sure your calculator's in degree mode. If you get some sort of negative number, negative numbers are not allowed for this one. So because our degree is going to be positive for this unit, okay? So that's example 1. Example 2, okay? When we go through it, we're going to use sine, cosine, tangent, right? Because we just labeled it. So when you go through it, we want to be able to identify what we have to work with. So we have opposite, we have adjacent. We cannot use this side because there's nothing there that represents that hypotenuse. Same thing over here. That's why we didn't use this one, because nothing here is representing. Okay? So go back over here. You got, let's see, you got A's, you got O. So you got A and O, that would be tan, okay? So we have tan. Okay, now we're gonna use our trig function. We ID'd it, okay? So then tan of 27 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent. And then from there, replace what you got. So that'll be 36 over x. And then you have tan of 27. And then we're just gonna simply just put the cross multiply. So you have 36 times 1. And then you have x times tan. So x tan of 27 degrees. And then next step is just simply divide. So divide by tan of 27. That goes away. Divide by tan of 27. And then x equals to 36 over tan of 27. And then just type it into the calculator. And then you got tan of 27. And then x is equal to 70.65. This will go up. So that means this will become 70.7. And then that will be your final value for this one. Okay? All right, there you go. That's it. Just make sure you go ahead and just work on your steps and then know how to cross multiply and then just identify the trig function. Okay? All right.